What's up, guys? This is a mystery build. So if you're seeing this, you probably won it. So congrats! I'm not putting this video up until I send it out, and then that person can watch the video on what they won. So let's go over what you won. So a couple cool things went into this build. So I had some along the lines of the Kraken 2.0 dial, where we did a smaller Kraken on a backside lumed dial. We did some with the biohazard and some with the radioactive symbol on them. So we had this one cut out. It's in the quadrant of 12:3. And then everything is lasered out around it. Okay, so your 2, your 3, your dashes, your dot marks, these are lasered completely through. Then we black cerakoted it, and then I clear coated it, and then backside lumed it. This is done, and I mean, as far as I can tell, it is a gold cerakote, which I have to confirm with my guy, but I'm 99% sure when he did gold cerakote. So it's very rich color. So gold cerakote. We had a lasered black cerakoted crown, and then we did a matching black with gold cerakoted milled caseback. So this was a stock caseback that was milled. You can see the milling across there. Then cerakoted, then lasered off, and then also cerakoted the tension ring back here. Then I had a set of gold hands that came from a vintage watch. Now the second hand is not vintage, but the two hands are. So older watch, I'd say 15 years old. And I thought they looked awesome and matched nicely. So you've got a stainless steel movement holder inside here that you can't see, an assigned rotor. And then this is also on a black on black, super soft Italian leather strap from my buddy Constantine. And this has a black PVD lasered buckle. And then for reference on the dial, oh, the bezel. That was the other cool thing. I bought this bezel probably 3 or 4 years ago, whenever I was just buying anything that could fit and that I could work with. And I also bought it back before I was doing cerakote work. So I was sitting there thinking, I'm going to do a black bezel and then do a like gold and black insert. And I had just done one of those on the Spartan build, which is probably the video like right before or very close to before. I was like, well, I don't want to do two of the same kind of thing. Granted, that was a gold PVD, and I was going to do a black PVD bezel. I thought, well, that looks too close to each other. What else can I do? And I had a cerakoted bezel, but I thought it was too plain. And I remembered that I had this black knurled bezel that has this black with, I don't know, it's essentially a gold color, and I think it matches pretty spot on. That I've had just sitting up there in a little baggie for probably 4 years. Snapped it right on. It went on super freaking tight, which is exactly what we want. It's a unidirectional bezel. Duo-directional. It will go either direction. But you have to make it move, and you have to squeeze it pretty good like I did there to get it to go. But a look at this dial at nighttime or after you've lumed it will show it is a thicker dial, has a whole wheel of lume to the back of it, so to tear down the movement just a little bit to get the fit. So there is your dial. So I thought this thing came out pretty awesome. I don't do too much stuff in gold. I have been asked for that a lot, silver with gold. And most of those people who are wanting the gold are wanting actual, like, what you would see at, like, case, and you know they're wanting the gold where the metal has been how do they do that? I don't want to say the wrong word because I don't know it, but you know, I mean, it's plated, but they do something to do the plating on there to where it's on there a little bit better. But you get like the textures and the color of gold, whereas with Cerakote, you're not getting that same. You're not getting that same. I don't know. I feel like the gold is a more dull kind of, if that's the correct word, whereas this feels like it's a more rich and robust color. So it's completely different. This is, you know, a coating that's been put on, not something that's kind of been bonded with the metal where you can kind of see the underlying metal. So if that makes sense. But that is the build, and if it's going to you, you got something pretty awesome that took years in the making, because I think that bezel really was the perfect thing for it, and it's been sitting here waiting for you for 4 years. So it's at least 4 years. I swear it is. I swear I bought it in the end of 2019 or early 2020. So there's the build. This is a Radioactive 2.0, and this is the first one that's ever gone out. I've done a Biohazard 2.0 that's gone out, but this is the first Radioactive 2.0 that's gone out. The other ones are, you know, the larger size dials. As with every build, you're going to get matching beads, entirely up to you how cool you are. I didn't have a black or a gold box, but I did have a nice brown box. I thought, well, that's a golden brown, so we'll just use that as the color. So come with watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal. So everything here in the center, this is a foamer. So you put a tiny bit of this, like if you put what comes out on there, you're in trouble. There's a lot. It'll last a long time because it's a foamer, but you'll see. And a microfiber to go with the cleaning of that. You also get some leather conditioner. This will keep that strap perfectly soft. Apply it on the front and back. If you ever feel that it's not as soft, you might not ever have to use this, but you'll probably use this on other stuff that you own. Use a rag of some sort, let it soak in, remove any excess. A little bit will go a long way. Don't use one of your microfibers on this. Use a rag of some sort. And then lastly, you're going to have some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, just repackaged. It's like Polywatch. It's because you've got a domed acrylic here, which is why it's so tough to take pictures with a black dial and get it in all this light on either direction. It was so tough to take pictures of it. And it's kind of ghosted how everything's kind of, you know, lasered in there. So was super tough to take pictures. But you can scratch that acrylic, and if you do, no big deal. Put a tiny bit of this on it and buff it out using your color matching microfiber. If the scratch is up and down, just go left and right, filling that scratch, haze it, buff it out, and you should be good to go. That said, if you scratch your Cerakote, that's a different story. That's just like if you do it to your car. So if you would scratch your car and you have scratched through the clear coat, through the paint, and into the metal, you have the same issue. You have to have it redone completely. If you just scratch a little bit and it's just barely gone through it, and you know, you can still see everything, but you can tell there's a scratch there. Use a little bit of gun oil and then work it in, and it should dissipate that scratch. But just don't do anything with this watch you wouldn't do with your car. So that's it. That's the build. If it's going to you, thank you so much for your support, and I hope you love it. Thank you.